Hey everyone, you may be wondering where have I been? It's been 2 to 3 months since I have uploaded a video at all, and this is long overdue. I'm excited to get back into the groove and get some videos going. This video that I have planned for today is actually one that I came up with. I haven't seen anyone do anything like it. I'm excited to kind of share this new idea with you. It's called a reseller review, in which I will look at myself from 6 months ago and review how I did. And I'll kind of explain that in just a second. I just want to say it has been a really wild 3 months. We've had a death in the family, car accidents, and this is all obviously aside from the holidays. We've had house issues, water pipes leaking. We've had a new furnace. I could just go on and on of all these things that have taken my time and attention outside of just the regular eBay store that I'm operating. No excuses. I still want to continue to upload one video a week for 2020. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jason. I'm a full-time eBay seller. I resell items that I find in thrift stores back onto eBay, flip for 5 to 10 times the amount that I paid for it. And I've been full-time for almost a couple of years now. It's been a fun journey, and if you're new, thank you for checking out my video. Without anything else being said, I do want to kind of get into what I'm going to talk about today. Back probably 6 to 7 months ago in June or July, when I was in the prime of garage sale season, I started thinking, because I had posted this video and I spent $161. I bought like 51 things, and I claimed in the video that I would make about $2,000 in sales. My mind got to thinking on this idea of there's so many resellers, like we all do it. I do it myself, obviously. We say I should make this much money on these items that I purchased at this garage sale. And then there's really no follow-up on, did I hit my goal? Did I get what I said what I was going to get? And so it's easy just to throw out numbers. In reality, are we hitting what we're telling you we're going to hit? If I said I'm going to make $2,000, am I actually making $2,000? So I'm going to put a link right up here to that video, and I would suggest if you haven't seen it, go watch that first and then come back to this one, because I'm gonna break down in that video a lot of the items that I bought. I can't remember if I go over all of them or just some of them. I know I probably went over at least 15 to 20, maybe more, items that I bought at garage sales that I claimed I would make close to $2,000 on. What I'm gonna do is I've got 45 of those 51 have sold in the 6 to 7 months since then. So I'm gonna break down the 45 items that I sold, how much it sold for, and I won't necessarily share the profit because it could take a while to go over profit for each item. But here's a general idea. I took those 51 items, I took the total sum that I spent on that, which was $161 on garage sale items only, and I divided that by 51 to come up with a total of $3.04 per item. You're gonna see some items in this video that obviously were more than $3 and some were obviously less than $3. But the whole goal is I averaged $3 per item. When I tell you how much I sold it for, just keep in mind that I paid $3 for it. And that will kind of help you get kind of a quick estimate on my profit for that item. What I will do is I will keep a counter or some kind of sum total running at somewhere on the screen. And maybe every like 5 or 10 items, I'll give you kind of the total for where we are in the video based on the items that have sold. To this day, I am, it's mid-January. I am still 6 items away from completing that whole 51 item lot. But I figured I don't need to wait until the last 6 sell. I can kind of give you a rough estimate of whether I think I'm gonna hit my goal or not. No explanation needed any further on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the 45 items. Start now. First item I sold out of this 51 item lot, sold within a few days of listing it. And as you can see here, it is a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren plaid hat. And it's got like the golf crest on the top of the hat. Every item that I have is free shipping. So the price that it went for, I'm giving you is including free shipping. So $30 all in on that one. The next item was a pair of North Face convertible hiking pants. These I typically sell for more than what I actually got for them. You can see here I got $18, but I believe these had like a couple stains on them that kept me from getting mid-20s to upper 30s. So that's typically what I'd aim for. $25 to $30 on something like this, $18 and they're gone. Number 3, this was outside of the clothing. So if you are new to my channel, I do a lot of clothing, but I love finding other things as well. And when I found these, I knew they were going to sell for quite a bit. These are 3 Titleist, like a driver, and then other woods, like a 3 wood or a 5 wood head covers. They were in excellent condition, almost looked brand new. And I got a total of $52.05 for these. They sold really quickly. I will mention too that I'm going in the order that they sold. So these first few items sold probably within a week of listing, and then towards the end, those items just sold for me. So that will kind of give you an idea what went fast and what has kind of taken longer to sell. And with that, this was another polo hat. I believe I got 3 of these, and this was the second one to go. This was just like a solid green, as you can see, with the same crest, polo crest logo on the front that the other one had. And it went for the same price, $30 free shipping. Excellent deal for a hat. This next item I was a little hesitant to picking up, mainly because it just takes up a lot of space and it's larger to ship, but they were brand new. Sorry, not brand new, but excellent used. So they were like new. I think worn a couple of times. Snowshoes, Atlas 1027 snowshoes. They were women's, and I sold them for $79.79 for the full asking price that I had on them. And yeah, very happy with this sale. The next item was, this is a player that's really popular right now in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. His team is in the playoffs. This was a boys football jersey. It was brand new in the plastic with the tags. And I sold this for a best offer of $40. So I wasn't sure how much I would get for kids, because kids always has some variation. But $40, very happy for that. This next item were a pair of women's jeans. I typically don't buy women's clothing anymore. I used to, but I've just found that I get more returns. I don't get as much money, and the items sit longer. But if I can find higher end brands, I still will take a chance on them, and especially if I'm getting them at a garage sale for a couple bucks. This item was Pilcrow and the letterpress green jeans or green pants, and they went for a best offer of $20. The next item was a White Sierra. They were White Sierra convertible hiking pants. White Sierra is not a brand that I really buy. I probably got these for $1 or $2, is I'm guessing why I would have picked them up. Because White Sierra, I usually probably 99% of the time will pass by. And this one went for $17. These were gray convertible pants in excellent condition. So this next one, there was a story to this one because I picked up this was a Sega Genesis lot that I found, and it had like 15 games, the system, a controller or 2, and then I think it had, it may have had a Game Genie with it. And I do remember that I paid $15 total for the whole lot on this, but I got home, and this probably was one of the first times I had sold a used video game system on eBay. So I threw it up on Instagram with a picture saying, how much would you sell this for? Or how much would you pay for this or something? And someone messaged back and said, dude, one of the games that you have in that stack of like 12 or 15 games is worth $100 or more. And it was a Contra hardcore video game that had the case and the manual and everything. And so I was very happy that that person reached out and let me know, because I was able to get, as you can see, $110 just for this game. I had no idea that a video game from 20 to 30 years ago would go for $100. But lo and behold, I took a best offer, $110, and I was very happy with that. I'm so thankful that I turned to some followers to give me some input, because I would have definitely given away a $100 game and a system lot for probably $80 for everything. Next was a brand new Black Clover Live Lucky golf visor. Still had the tags on it. This was on sale, and it went for $28.30. The next item that I had, you'll probably see this twice in here because I think I picked up 2 of them. I was actually with my wife for this garage sale, and she walked by these 2 purses at one of the first garage sales we went to, and she said, babe, you need to check out those purses. I looked them up, and I know they were asking $5 to $10 a purse, and I think I bought 2 of them that looked just like this one. They were both black and like the seatbelt type weave and fabric. And This was a Harvey's Original seatbelt purse that sold for $47.30. The next one actually is the second one. So the Harvey's looks just like it. It's just a little different style. Went for the same price, $47.30. So for both of those purses, I think I paid $20 and I got close to $100. Very pleased with that. And I will say the cool thing about finding stuff like that is once you find a new item, you know, something that you wouldn't have found before, that just adds to the range of expertise that you know. So now I know if I can find like a Harvey's purse, I know what it will go for, even though before that day I had no idea that brand. That's the cool thing about reselling is you may start off on day one and you may be pretty new into eBay reselling. And if you are, that's okay. Every day you operate, you gain more knowledge on items and what they're selling for. And of course, things are constantly changing, but you know, I can find a lot more stuff now than I could early on when I was reselling because I have 3, 4, 5, 6 times the amount of brands that I'm looking for compared to when I started. So don't get discouraged if you don't feel like you have a lot of brands in your back pocket yet. If you keep doing the research, if you keep looking up sold listings, and you just stay in the game and continue to list things, you will eventually pick up a lot more brands, and it will help you have an eye for things. This next item was a pair of Keen like water shoes, sandals, and this was the middle of the summer when I sold it, so they went for a best offer of $35, and nothing fancy about these. Keen is a great brand, hiking shoes or boots and water sandals as well. One of the garage sales I went to was like a large like school band sell, and so all the band members had brought like everything from their house that they wanted to get rid of. All their families kind of like pitched into the sale, and they were basically just doing like this fill a bag for $10 thing. And so that's why I was actually able to score so well, because they weren't really pricing things individually based on like the brand or the value. It was just more of like, oh, you bought 10 things. Okay, how about, you know, $5? And so I got a lot of the items I'm showing you I got from that sale. So I wouldn't have bought this hat anywhere else, but because I knew it was like, you know, pennies on the dollar, I was probably paying 10 cents for it. And it was a cool old vintage hat. I picked it up, and this was a Slipknot black hat that I sold for a best offer of $14. I will say that hats you can send first class in a poly bag, poly mailer, and I have a video about that. If you look in my channel, you can find a video on how to ship hats if you're curious. This next item at the same place at this band garage sale, and this was new to me. I mean, I obviously know Yu-Gi-Oh, but when I bought it, I wasn't sure how much I would get for it. It was a huge bag of 583 cards. Some of them were bent, some of them, you know, I had no idea what I was looking at. Personally, I'm not into Yu-Gi-Oh, but I threw this bag of 583 cards up, and I got this is one I put on an auction, and it went for $32 with free shipping. So a few bucks and a $32. I will say about the Yu-Gi-Oh, since I had no experience, you know, it would take me a long time to kind of sort through and identify, are any of these cards valuable by themselves? I knew I probably wasn't going to get a lot more money if I spent a lot of time. It's kind of like stamps. I don't want to spend 4 hours researching stamps to find out that one is worth $5 instead of $1. If I don't know the value and I know it's going to take a long time to research, and of course 583 cards would have taken a lot of time, and for me, just lot it, sell it, get rid of it. Next was this hat. This was, you know, the third one like the other two before. It was a blue hat with, again, the Polo Ralph Lauren crest on it, and it went for a best offer of $28. This next item was a pair of golf shoes that I believe the guy told me he may have worn once. So they're FootJoys, which is an excellent golf brand, and you can see they look almost brand new. So I had them listed as excellent used condition. So I took a best offer of $50. I believe I still had the box with these, and yeah, I was happy with a $50 sale. This next item was a jacket. Not familiar with the brand Magnolia Lane, but I know that, you know, The Masters golf tournament has like a hole called Magnolia. So it's probably something that has to do with that. The Masters golf tournament, you can see the logo on the chest. Anytime you find this logo on a shirt or a hat, it's gonna sell for a lot. Now, just so you know, this golf tournament annually is like the first week in April. If you have items like this, it's gonna start to warm up and probably sell quicker if you list it in like February or March to sell it, so that people who are going to the tournament can have a hat or a shirt or whatever it is they're looking to buy. So that's kind of when you want to list it, is, you know, after January or February, somewhere in that range. And this jacket was just like a black polyester full zip jacket that went for $37.80. Next, I found at this woman's house, she had these Restoration Hardware slippers. Now, here's another item that I have no experience with. I don't typically buy women's slippers, but I knew the brand Restoration Hardware because we have one here in Denver. It's a really high-end furniture store. So it caught my attention. I didn't know Restoration Hardware sold slippers. These were like, they're called luxury plush duvet slippers. They were really soft on the inside. She still had the bag, as you can see in the picture. And I looked them up on the spot, and I saw that they were going for, I think, maybe like 60 brand new. And these were excellent used condition, hardly looked like they were worn. I sold them for $42.55. It was an excellent pickup. And then since then, I've actually found another pair of those at a thrift store that I sold, I think, for 30 bucks or something. So Restoration Hardware plush duvet slippers. Next, I don't typically buy this brand, but because they're usually very lightweight, they go first class, and these were brand new. And so because they were brand new, I picked them up. I wouldn't have probably if they weren't, but I sold these Sanuk Fiona flats. They're women's shoes, and I sold them on a best offer for $29. Keeping with the Masters theme, here's a Masters hat. Here's actually a better picture. You can see the close-up of the logo if you're not familiar. But this hat I sold for $29.79. That was my full asking price. Keeping with the hat theme, I found this Thrasher magazine hat as well at that garage sale that the like huge school band was selling. And so again, it was thrown into a bag, a huge bag that I paid hardly anything for, and I was able to get full asking price, $24.79. This next item I've learned on, I don't typically pick this up anymore. Video games are so hard to sell because you kind of have to know what you're looking for. And it was the end of the day. This lady was asking like $1 or $2 for each of these. I picked up these 4 for PlayStation 4. I was thinking that since PS4 was the newest system, may still be the newest system, I'm guessing, at the time, that, you know, maybe I could get some really good money for these. But video games are really hard unless you have like a really good one. I would say stay away from sports games unless they're brand new. For some reason, like the Maddens and the 2Ks and the MLB, they just don't sell for that much. I mean, these 4 went for a best offer of $13. I probably, you know, only made like a few bucks on them. So I wouldn't do this again if I were at the same sale today. So lesson learned from 6 months ago, stay away from, or at least know your video games enough to where you know whether what you have is valuable in front of you or not. Next up are Shimano mountain bike cycling shoes that I got were in excellent condition. Shimano is a cycling brand that is higher end. Any shoes or like gear that you find, it's going to typically have value. And these went for almost $50 full price, $49.79. On this next item, I found a Columbia ski jacket, and you can see it's in pretty good condition. If you notice this picture, the red is really hard. The red is really hard to pick up like definition. For some reason with the iPhone, red, especially nylon fabric like jackets, have a hard time picking up like contrast and color, and it just looks kind of blurry to me. So, but still with this, it went for a best offer of $30. So happy with that. I don't remember where I got this, but I know that I wouldn't have paid much for it. Next up, I got these Go Light neon light running shoes. Go Light. Typically, I didn't know they made shoes. I've purchased like hiking gear, like shirts and pants. But to me, it's a brand that is I just don't see as much. And I saw these shoes and I thought, I've never seen shoes before from Go Light, so I picked them up. And they sold for a best offer of $30. Now, knowing what I know, I probably wouldn't buy these again. Go Light is a brand that typically takes longer to sell. It's not as higher end as like Patagonia or North Face, Arc'teryx, some of those other brands, Mountain Hardwear. So I'm a little more cautious with Go Light as a brand in general because I just don't think they're as known as the others. This pair of shoes that I'm showing you here is New Balance trail running shoes. New Balance is a brand I typically don't pick up as well, but like I said, if the price is right, if it's in excellent condition, I'll pick them up. These sold for $47.79. That was my full asking price. Very happy with that sale. Eddie Bauer is a brand that I see quite a bit. With Eddie Bauer, I've kind of slowed down picking up stuff. So again, it's got to be pretty new or new with tags. Or a unique item like a wool sweater or something. But items like this, I don't purchase anymore. So this is an item that it's kind of like something I would have picked up last summer, but no more. It's just your like nylon or polyester hiking button-up shirt. I took a best offer of $24 on this, which is actually pretty good. Mid-20s is a great price for Eddie Bauer. I'm finding that most of them nowadays are going to go around the $20 range, low 20s. I mentioned before Keen shoes. These shoes are just like your casual, like Converse looking shoes that were canvas fabric. And you can see in the picture on the toe, they had a few like little scuffs around the toe. So I didn't get as much as I could have if they didn't have that. But $32.50 was the best offer that I took on these and was very happy to get that. Next up, Sperry Topsider. It's a brand that I pass over quite a bit. The only time I usually will buy Sperry's, I used to buy like the Sperry boat shoes that are very popular, but there's so many of them out there that I find I can't get more than like $20, $25 for them. And I found they sit for months, sometimes a year longer. I've halted and am not going to buy any more like boat shoes or any of those types of shoes, men's or women's. I will buy winter boots. These winter boots that I got, I sold for $42.32. And I do find that the winter boots, especially women's, do hold their value. My recommendation would be, if you're trying to increase your sales price, don't buy Sperry. Next, this brand I wasn't familiar with at all, but with winter boots, typically in great condition, I know that I can get a minimum of 45. This was on the lower end, lacrosse winter boots. If they were Sorels, I would have got 55 to 65. But these lacrosse boots, I got $46.57. I don't typically buy these. I've probably bought, this may be the only pair of lacrosse boots that I've ever bought. So happy with this sale, mid-40s. Next up was a Nerf gun lot that I picked up. I sat on this for quite some time. Like I did some research and found out that if you had a Nerf gun lot, you could get 150, 200, and so I had it priced up in that range. I think I had it for 200 and had it on sale for like 170 or something, and it was just sitting for a while. So finally, I lowered it to $149.79, and then I had an offer come in for $100, and I was just ready to move it because it was this huge box that was sitting in my in this room, and so I was just ready to get this box going. $100 was a great price. And I'd already kind of done some research on the shipping to know how much it was going to cost to ship. So I knew, with items like this where you have larger items, figure out the box and maybe even pack it up ahead of time so that when it comes time to sell, you're not scrambling to the store to find a box big enough or trying to figure out how much it's going to cost and losing money on shipping. So that's what I did, and it really helped out the situation. So when this lot sold, I just got the box, put it on the scale, and away I went. Next item was new in box. It's the only reason why I can consider picking this up, and did for a couple bucks. It was like an Eddie Bauer hand warmer. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I looked it up and they were going for 20 to 25. So I took a best offer of $20 on this, something that sat longer, but I probably made 10 bucks on it. This was another new brand. So this next item, Vertex, I believe is how you pronounce it, Vertx. I picked up 2 pairs of pants. So you'll see one later in the video because the second pair didn't sell for a while after. But Vertex, they're kind of like 511 Tactical Series or proper brand. For these, I sold for $29.57, which is great. They do go in a padded flat rate envelope. I do have a video about that if you are looking for cheap ways to ship like heavy pants that are heavier than a pound. Check out that video on in my channel as well. These sold for almost 30 bucks, went $7.33 in a padded flat rate, and definitely made some good money on these. This next item was an item that I picked up at a garage sale, and it had like a mark or a hole or something. Whenever I find that, you know, I hardly ever take a loss on items because I'm getting such a good deal on them that even if I do find a mark or a stain or a hole or some kind of imperfection, I can still get like 10 bucks for it. Because some people out there are thinking, you know, this is a brand new shirt and this one is actually new with tags. It just had an imperfection. And they're thinking, I'll just take it to the tailor or I'll try and, you know, use some kind of solution to get the stain out or something. People are willing to take a chance on items that have imperfections. So you don't have to sell it for 3 bucks. This one I had for $19.79. It probably got reduced to $15 on sale, and I took a best offer for $12. This next item was like, it says leather, and it is leather, but it looks kind of like, it's kind of like that suede leather. So it was a Denver Broncos jacket. I took a best offer on this and sold it, as you can see, for $35. I was kind of shocked that this didn't go for more. Denver hasn't really been, sad day, Denver. Denver hasn't really been good since they won the Super Bowl like 3 or 4 days ago, or 3 or 4 years ago. If this were a more popular team, you know, with a stronger fan base like a New York or a LA, Chicago, I probably could have got more money. Just because Denver hasn't been doing well in 3 years, you know, I didn't get as much as I could have. All right, another Masters. Augusta is the golf course, but an Augusta National Masters Golf, and this is called a bucket hat. I had to look it up to find out what kind of hat this was. It was in excellent condition. I mean, all this Masters stuff that I'm showing you, I found at one place, so I'm pretty sure just one person donated their whole Masters collection, and I scooped in and took it right up. So very happy with that. I took a best offer of $35, and again, ships first class, lightweight, scored some great money, some great margin on this one. Next up is a Marmot soft shell jacket. This one had like a couple of light marks from wear on the bottom, I think at the back. And so I didn't get as much as I could have had they not been there, and it also had, I believe it had some branding like on the sleeve here from like a company that the guy worked for. But it was 2XL, so that helped, and it sold on a best offer for $32.56. This next item was a pair of vintage Eddie Bauer duck boots. They were women's, size 7, which is a good size. You know, with women's, you're looking at like 7, 8, 9 is kind of like a good range where more people fit into. These happen to be right in that range. I took a best offer of $30.44. and sold these. You can tell, you know, they're kind of scuffed on the toes, but they're duck boots. People typically don't care about that as much if they're going to be wearing them out in like the rain, and they're going to be, they're more of an outerwear items. People are a little more lenient when it comes to items like that. Here's another video game lot that I picked up that, again, I won't do this. This was all 4 games, Xbox 360, and again, they're all sports games. Sat on them for a long time, and they went for $14.21. Learned my lesson, won't do that again. This next item, it was a brand that's not popular or anything. Don't need to mention necessarily the brand, but it was Ryder Cup, which is a golf tournament that is played every year, and it's kind of got like a little embroidered logo on the chest. And this was just a pullover jacket, like a windbreaker. Took a best offer of $20 on this one, and was happy to get that out. I alluded to these earlier. Here's the second pair of Vertex, like utility cargo pants. And they sold for the exact same price as the brown ones that I had, $29.57. Next up was a pair of kids ski bibs. They were LL Bean, and they were like a bluish purple color. It was kind of hard to pick up in the picture. I knew I would sit on these until winter rolled around, and these actually sold probably 3 to 4 weeks ago for $36.37. This next item was a mistake item. Won't do this again. I've kind of cool down on picking up like Nike golf polos or Adidas or Puma. They just don't go for much, and there's so many out there for buyers to choose from, so they do sit for a little longer. This was a Nike golf polo. The only reason why I got it, I mean, it's white. White gets stained easier. You gotta really examine it and make sure that there's no stains on a white article. This had like a Crown Royal embroidered logo on it, and so I just thought, you know, maybe that would fetch some more money. It just sat and sat and sat, and this one actually sold within the last couple of weeks for a best offer of $10. I was so tired of it, I was just ready for it to go. So there it went. And then lastly, this is the 45th item of the 51 that I'm selling in the lot. It is a pair of Keen hiking shoes. They were US women's size 10, so they were a little larger, so probably why they sat a little longer. I did take a best offer of $28.99. So I've been keeping a running total in one of the corners of this video to show you how much I've accumulated in sales from these 45 items. Again, remember, I still have 6 more out there. If I get my average sales price of close to $30, then that would be almost another couple of $100 added to this total. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the number now and just show you how much I sold these 45 items for, so that you can see how I did based on how I said I was gonna do. All right, so if you've been following along with the total down below, you know where I'm sitting pretty close to, but the total number of gross sales for those 45 items was $1,615.91 with a total profit, and this is, so the gross sales minus cost of goods, shipping, and eBay fees. Total profit of $969.33. For a few hours of a Saturday morning, to only spend $161 to make almost $1,000 profit is crazy to me as well. Obviously, you know, there was more time spent like taking the photos, you know, creating the listing and then shipping once they sold. But still, let's say I spent, you know, 20 hours total on all of that stuff, which I probably didn't, but 20 hours total to make $1,000. That's like $50 an hour. I'm very happy with that number, and I don't even think I spent that much time. I'm somewhat short, $1,615 and some change, and then let's say we add in $200 for the items that still have yet to sell. That puts me at just a little over $1,800. Okay, I didn't hit the $2,000 mark, but don't hold me to that. I got close, you know, $1,800 for 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday morning, I think is really good, and reason why you can do it too, and why you should do it. I really hope that you enjoy this type of video. I don't know if I'll do it again or not. It took a lot of time because I had to keep track of each item in that lot from that day that sold. I wanted to do something different, so let me know in the comments. Did you like this type of video where I go back and I review all the items that I showed you from 7 months ago, and I told you what I actually sold them for, and kind of keep track on myself of, did I get what I said I was going to get for it? Although it took me 2 to 3 months to do this video, I promise you that I'm not going to take 2 to 3 months to do the next video. My goal is that the next video will be next week, and that you can start to see more consistency from me when it comes to uploading. So I will do my best to stick to that and post 1 video a week from here on out. Guys, thanks so much again. Really appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day.